103.7 Universal Love. Hello and welcome to the Cosmic Experience of One. This is an awareness expanding course that should be absorbed in order. Like a university course, this course's information builds upon itself, so you would be doing yourself a disservice if you took it in out of order. If you do not watch it in order, you might not comprehend the material, or worse, you will think you fully understood it and walk away with a skewed interpretation. Do yourself a favor and first view 101.1, 101.2, 101.3, and 101.4, which are all in one video that starts with an introduction to this course. Then continue on and viewing the subjects in order. The introduction to this course needs to be taken in first in order to know the nature of this awareness expanding course. Think of this course as a book where you will not understand it fully if you do not read the chapters in order, Chapter 1 being the introduction that is imperative to take in first. So please click the link in the description section under this video to view the first video. Working on and balancing the green ray heart chakra is an act only positively oriented beings do as they progress toward graduating to fourth density positive. Negatively oriented beings focus on self-love by way of manipulation of orange and yellow ray chakra matters. They do not practice the green ray chakra's universal love. However, this subject, as well as this whole awareness expanding course, is offered to all third density human beings, positively, negatively, and neutrally oriented, as working towards switching to positive polarity is always a choice, and then in sixth density a requirement to advance further. As a third density being works on balancing their orange and yellow ray chakra matters, partial prana may flow upward during times of peace and focus and offer the being some lessons in the green and blue ray chakras, and possibly even the indigo ray chakra. Until the third density being overcomes and balances an adequate amount of their orange and yellow ray chakra matters, lessons offered from the green ray chakra are fleeting, as one who enjoys a short vacation returns to their slavery job. Overcoming and balancing personal /orange ray chakra matters offers the way forward for a third density being and is a major focus for their progression because it is the foundation for all matters of the individual and interactions with other individuals, source interacting with itself in both cases. When these self and other selves matters are overcome and balanced, matters of the yellow ray chakra group affiliations are easier to overcome, as what comprises group interactions is made up of individual connections and interactions from self to other selves, regardless of perceived groups. A third density being is offered more learning materials and opportunities for universal love in the green ray chakra when the flow of prana is not blocked and able to reside often and long enough in duration in the green ray chakra, where the spotlight of focus then shines on green ray chakra lessons, opening the classroom doors and books of learning in the next grade level of education. When a third density being becomes a certain age, they start seeking universal love with another being in a love relationship. At this point, the being most likely has not overcome an adequate amount of personal /orange ray chakra issues to understand and experience the long-lived green ray universal love they seek. They seek another who will love them unconditionally despite their flaws, building a loving connection meant to be powerful and long-lasting. But once such a relationship begins and the newness of the relationship departs, it is the personal flaws of the orange ray chakra and mindsets of both the individuals in the relationship that tend to actively work on blocking the upward flow of prana to the green ray chakra, blocking the very path in which both individuals seek. Being in a relationship that focuses on love is the classroom of learning for personal /orange ray chakra lessons, because a powerful mirror in the other self reflects back and makes known personal issues that need resolving and balancing. This is the most effective and advanced classroom for overcoming and balancing personal matters. Before an individual realizes this new classroom they have enrolled in, they perceive the other self in the relationship will do all the work in making them feel loved, happy, understood, accepted, and all the other lessons that reside in the personal /orange ray chakra. When the newness of the relationship fades and the personal issues that were temporarily hidden for a period of time resurface, as they always do unless they are resolved and balanced, the individual starts blaming the other self for not being able to dissolve their personal issues that stop them from dwelling in Green Ray's universal love. At this point, they do not understand that it is only themselves that can do this. They may stay in the possible dysfunctional relationship, not working on their personal matters and continuing to think it is all up to the other self to make it work. Or they end the relationship and seek a different other self and repeat the same situation, being unaware of the root issues involving their personal /orange ray chakra matters that are holding them back from experiencing universal love. They will never find an individual who can solve their personal matters because only they can do that for themselves. That is why they are called personal matters. Relationships help and assist growth, but only the self can resolve and balance self-issues. Until the individual overcomes issues and balances out matters adequately in the orange ray chakra by doing the inner work, they will never find what they seek in themselves and with other selves, Green Ray's universal love. Relationships that focus on love provide the mirror from another self so the self can see itself more clearly. Flaws that one did not see before are brought up to one's awareness. Then these flaws, matters that need to be overcome or balanced, can be worked on by the self so they can make their way toward permanent residency in the Green Ray's universal love instead of only enjoying fleeting visits or vacations there. The directions for proceeding on the path that leads toward the beginning of the path of universal love can be given by others in relationships and awareness expanding material akin to our offerings, but only the self can put one foot forward and then the other in order to reach the trailhead of the new path. All beings eventually do this for every new path, all chakras, sub-densities, and densities. Sometimes the mirror one holds up to show the other self their flaws is not a mirror, but a projection of the mirror holder's own flaws. Just as one uses their discernment for both positive and negative fourth density beings' influences, one is responsible for determining if a mirror or a projection has been placed before them by another third density being. If one is not certain which it is, this might mean it is a mirror. If they decide to work on the matter by doing the inner work and show advancement, but the other keeps raising the perceived issue, especially in a non-loving manner, it may be a projection instead of a mirror. Until the two beings in a relationship that seeks love adequately overcome and balance their own personal matters, conditional love will be displayed instead of universal love. Green Ray's universal love is given freely with no conditions or strings attached. One who has adequately balanced their Green Ray chakra recognizes on some level that all beings are connected, or that all beings are one. So to love another self is to also love oneself. In this held concentration of love and light energy, giving is performed without the motive of getting something in return. The motivation is the aid of this service to others act itself. The powerful loving feeling one experiences while in a relationship may be assisted and charged from their partner, but the powerful loving feeling is actually being created by the being themselves. One can generate this loving feeling even when they are alone if they focus on universal love in their green ray heart chakra. The intelligently conscious love energy inspirited within each atom and space between each atom glows with love when its nature of love is focused on. This is what is being felt, and it does not take another self in order to do it, but the mirror of another self that reflects this loving feeling back makes it easier to be seen and felt. As green ray sexual acts are always vulnerable to lowering to orange or yellow ray sexual acts, beginners working to balance the green ray chakra in their life board game are vulnerable to lowering back to focusing on orange or yellow ray chakra lessons. This may happen if actions in life that derive from the green ray chakra face enough pushback and attacks from neutrally and negatively oriented human beings that may result in not only giving up their aiding actions, but in a state of victimhood or anger, they may shun other selves because of the possible resistance, attacks, and lack of support, which leads to regression to orange ray chakra lessons by solely focusing on themselves with personal/emotional blockages. If the friction came from an individual from a particular group, this may be focused on by the self and mentally built up to be of importance, which regresses the self back to yellow ray chakra group affiliation issues. When a third density being has adequately balanced their green ray chakra, which means they have already adequately balanced their red, orange, and yellow ray chakras, and interacts with other human beings with loving kindness that has no ulterior motive, the other human being may respond in a non-reciprocal manner because they are used to an ulterior motive always existing when some type of love or kindness is shown. They are used to displays of love being solely displayed as an attempt to get into a love relationship or a fleeting sexual experience. In other words, they are used to conditional love. They are not used to coming in contact with universal love that has no motives and may not even understand what universal love is or that it exists. So they usually assume there is an angle being played. In this case, they either welcome or rebuff the perceived advances from the one displaying universal love. The human being who welcomes it may become irritated or angry later on because no attempts are made to further their perceptions of getting into a relationship or a sexual act, and they may begin to think some type of game is being played on them. The human being who rebuffs the display of universal love may be irritated, angry, or feel superior because they have personal issues that need overcoming. Whether welcomed or rebuffed, the one practicing and displaying green ray's universal love is misunderstood and judged by the other self. This is not a problem if the being practicing universal love does not make it a problem. If they recognize it is a personal issue for the other self to overcome and has nothing to do with them, they may show empathy and continue on unimpeded. Their mistake would be to stop displaying universal love, thinking their society is not ready for it. At no other time period is any society on earth more ready for it, as the harvest time draws near. Hints may be given to the welcomers to understand that no aim is being sought after, especially if the interaction is ongoing due to workspace or other repeating shared spaces. A method to sow seeds of growth for the rebuffers is to not negatively respond to their negative reaction and depart from the interaction while still displaying universal love and also empathy. This may further confuse the confused rebuffer because their perceptions may be proven to be false, and it may bring them to question conditional love and come closer to understanding what universal love is and its healing powers. Although they may further deceive themselves into thinking it was merely a clever way for the rebuffed to attempt to walk away with their dignity intact. However they perceive it and however they act, it is their issue to overcome and not an issue for the one practicing universal love. The more a third density being resides on the green ray chakra path, the more the matters on the orange and yellow ray path are seen for what they are, temporary illusions that must be played out and overcome to advance on the journey. The cosmos and every density within it is an illusion, but the cosmos is an illusion each spark of source signed up to experience. One does not advance through the illusion by merely labeling or knowing it is an illusion, and then not working to advance towards source by doing the inner work and service to others acts. This is an error played by some human beings who misunderstood the wisdom and knowledge brought through by the fifth density wanderer known as the Buddha. All that is in the cosmos is inspirited with Source's intelligently conscious love and light energy. Nothing in the cosmos could be in the physical outer planes or metaphysical inner planes without being inspirited by this love and light energy. Even negatively polarized beings are inspirited with this universal love energy. They are just not self-aware of it, as they are confused about their true nature. Every cell in a being's body is inspirited with this love and light energy, and every space between those cells is inspirited with intelligently conscious love energy. The very open space human beings walk through is inspirited with this universal love energy that is of Source and is Source. This reality may be experienced when the green ray chakra has been adequately balanced and universal love shines brightly. Personal issues need to be adequately overcome to live in this universal love reality. But once they are and the green ray chakra is actively being worked on, the remaining 30% to 40% of personal issues cannot live long once continually exposed to universal love. This is where deep-seated personal issues may finally and totally be resolved, such as total forgiveness for all transgressions and abandoning all judgments. All the remaining dirt is washed away in the peaceful and joyful bath that is universal love. When the green ray heart chakra is adequately balanced, all relationships become love relationships, no matter how fleeting the interaction between beings. Not only does adequately balancing one's green ray chakra grant graduation to fourth density positive at the end of a major cycle, but within the current and each preceding incarnation leading up to graduation where the green ray chakra is balanced, a launch pad to the higher chakras is available because the individual's personal matters, self to other self matters, and group affiliations have been overcome and universal love for self and all other selves is recognized and practiced. This universal love and knowing all are one opens up the focus of affiliation with one of the only two groups remaining in the cosmos, the positive and negative polarity paths, which is the focus in fourth density and higher densities until the path of negative polarity ends somewhere in the early to middle sixth subdensities. After graduating to fourth density, a being works within their positive or negative polarity group and focuses on service to others or service to self acts. They continue in one of these two polarities in fifth density and learn the lessons of wisdom and light. In sixth density, where all beings work on balancing love and wisdom, the two polarities become one as the negatively polarized beings have to switch to the positive polarity path in order to adequately balance universal love and wisdom. Until the sixth density, the beings still remaining on the negatively polarized path had only focused on experiencing the love of self and not universal love, so they are thrown into confusion when entering sixth density. When they get to the point of realizing they can advance no further in sixth density and fully understand and resolve their confusion, they switch to the positive polarity path and work on progressing by balancing all their delayed karma in their new position of duty and honor to the oneness in positive polarity. One may ask why a negatively polarized being even attempts moving forward through the fourth and fifth negative densities if they must switch to the positively polarized path at some point. It is because they are confused about reality and perceive information akin to and in this awareness expanding course to be a lie. This is all by Source's design because the negative path offers its own type of service to Source for Source to better know itself by having such an adverse element of itself on the illusory game board. We will not cover the countless details within relationships that focus on love, as we did not cover the countless details within the personal and one-on-one individual interactions. We offer some examples but focus on offering the expanded viewpoint and awareness that resolves all the details within each set of chakra lessons. It is the responsibility of each being to do the inner work by recognizing and working on the details themselves after first-hand experiences provide a spotlight upon the details. Since the seniority of vibration is in effect as Earth nears harvest time, there are currently hundreds of millions of later third subdensity positively oriented beings incarnated on Earth who provide learning material for the details, along with the approximately 385 million wanderers, who are mostly sixth density wanderers, presently incarnate on Earth. There is a plethora of modern material available to assist human beings if they choose to overcome and balance their personal and group matters and work toward adequately balancing their green ray chakra. Highly negatively oriented human beings try their hardest to hide such material, and with their control over internet platforms / companies, they are somewhat effective at doing so. The question is whether the human being is seeking the material or not. When one mentally seeks, the doors of opportunity open in some manner regardless of those who try to hide the doors. This is how the mental cosmos operates. More on the function of this cosmic operation will be covered in a later subject. Most human beings are too distracted by trivialities in the third density experience. If they choose to continue doing so, They will continue to sleep in a dream that could turn into a nightmare at any time. Negatively oriented human beings create and encourage majority-created distractions so as to keep the majority focused on trivialities and away from what is important, because that is how they effectively continue to manipulate and control the majority. This is not to say that one cannot enjoy transient elements and entertainment in their incarnation. The question is how much time and focus is being given to them instead of being given to that which is not trivial or transient, the way of one. The wanderer who has adequately balanced his chakras to be able to receive and bring through this awareness expanding course is only one of millions of 6th density wanderers from our united group currently incarnate on 3rd density Earth. Besides his truth and fiction books that contain a plethora of non-fictional material, there is currently an abundance of material being brought forward by positively oriented human beings, whether they are wanderers, walk-ins, or not. Material most notable of such has been brought through by the one known as Eckhart Tolle. We especially shine a spotlight on this being's body of works, The Power of Now and A New Earth. When Earth fully transitions to a 4th density positive planet, it will be the new Earth. The material Eckhart Tolle brought through covers some of the countless details within the lower chakras and green rays chakra lessons that this awareness expanding course is not intended to cover. This course is presented in video format for free to overcome book shadow banning and make its existence known. Now that you know it exists, it's recommended to proceed how this course is intended to be absorbed by book. The title of the book is The Cosmic Experience of One, an Awareness Expanding Course for Human Beings. The information in this course is more effective and appropriate to be read in book form, where one can pause and ruminate and meditate on the material as they read. Besides the low audio quality in the videos and the protection from targeted spoken words and censorship, the book is a much better way to understand and learn the material. The book contains 2 more subjects, 104.2 and 104.3, which is my way of thanking those who show their appreciation to my aiding services by purchasing the book. Since we currently live in a broken monetary system, without your show of monetary appreciation for my services, I can't get by and continue to perform service to others acts by writing more meaningful books. Purchasing the book not only shows your appreciation for my services and allows me to live in this monetary system, but the course's material will be easily accessible for your revisiting. To more fully absorb the material, it's recommended to read the book at least twice. You will understand why on your second reading. You can gain positive polarity by doing your part in sharing this awareness expanding course with others. Raising the collective's vibration is a team effort. We cannot do this alone. Your participation is required. Liking and subscribing are also actions that make this course seen by more human beings. A negatively oriented being learns information and keeps it to themselves so they can selfishly benefit over others. A positively oriented being learns information and wants others to benefit from it as well because they care, and they know that aiding others also aids themselves. This is true in more ways than one, as a being gains positive polarity for aiding others, and they benefit again when another's vibration is raised because it raises the whole collective's vibration, which assists all, including the first being who shared. All are connected, all are one. Comments and questions will be read, but I will not reply with comments, nor like comments, nor heart comments, nor interact in the comments section in any way. If comments or questions are found to warrant a reply, the reply will be made in a possible future video. If an account using the same or similar profile picture, channel name, or my author name interacts in any of the ways listed above or other ways, know that it's not me and is a human tool working for the negatively oriented human beings to capture and twist the information in this course or your perception, or smear the messenger. Likewise, human tools may create fake accounts on this platform or others in the same attempt to capture and twist this course's information. Official sources for me are listed in the description field below. Everything else is fake.